Bro, Gino is interrupting the man on his biggest moment of the day where he gets to talk to America. Alright? All he wants to do is talk to America.
Hey,
and Gino's yelling at him.
I hate the disrespect of Canada, though. Because there's a lot of NFL fans up here. Subscribe button, 200 by the end of the month. Make sure you guys follow our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're subscribed for YouTube Shorts almost on the daily. Audio listeners, shout out.
Brussels.
If you know, you know. Yeah, but if you guys prefer to listen on the audio on a car ride home, whatever, make sure you guys download it on whatever platform you guys use and give us a 5-star rating. It will help us it'll just help us out.
It'll help us out, yeah.
All right. Sure. Without a further ado, let's get right into it. Before we get into that, let's 7v7 league a little bit here.
Yo, we won.
We won our first game.
We're winless no more.
I was a goalie.
Yeah,
I was not great, but I was a goalie.
You were fine.
5-2 win.
5-2 win.
And I got another assist out of net, and it was to you.
Somehow.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah, so I think you played a long ball.
Off a goal kick. I had to run and fetch that ball too, I think.
Yeah, off a goal kick. You played a long ball. Then I don't know, I think I just undercutted the defender basically because it was going a little bit short. So I just came back to the ball, took a touch inside and just shot it, and it's probably the best finish I've done in my life.
Low key should have won like 10-0, but
yeah, no, we were solid that day.
Yeah. All right, that's a little quick update on this little trophy. Try to get this thing back for
the league. Win the league one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we have all of our players, which we did this time, well, not all, most of our players, we should be fine. We should have won last week.
Yeah, that's true. We're in a good spot.
Shout out Surrey Soccer League. You guys are killing it. So
yeah, thank you for 7v7. So yeah. We don't have to play freaking 11v11.
And you had a good game today, I would say.
My own game, yeah.
Bench warmer to 35 minutes or whatever you played.
That's how much I average usually, I guess.
All right, let's get right into it. I think, for the next, 3 months, we're starting off with NFL most likely. Especially now until the NBA comes out.
On the Monday pods.
Yeah, Monday pods. But let's get right into it.
First, let's recap Thursday night. Just quick thoughts on that. And
we kind of missed it.
But my first thought is that Eagles are not as dominant as last year.
And I wonder what the difference is.
Yeah, losing both your coordinators actually.
Mainly
Shane Steichen because
where is he at?
Indianapolis.
And who did they win? Who won today?
Indianapolis.
And how did Shane Steichen do today?
pretty good.
It's hard to emphasize.
But but like it's clear that Philly, the only way they're moving the ball right now is through the run game. And Minnesota's run defense was absolutely horrible. That's the main reason why they lost.
DeAndre Swift went off.
Yeah, he did.
175 yards. Maybe you should pick him up in fantasy.
I don't know if he's already picked up or not. But.
No. But yeah, I mean, was it Highsmith or something like that? Gainwell. Yeah, was injured along with I think a guy on the defensive. I think it was Bradbury. If I'm not mistaken, was injured as well.
But like the two games they had, one was a rushing attack, carried. And the second thing is that I want to point out was they gave away leads. Like, they didn't give away leads, but
they made it closer than it should have been.
They made it closer against the Patriots game than it should have been because they were up 16-0, I think.
Yeah.
And then they were up 2 touchdowns against the Vikings, and it almost came down to a Hail Mary play.
Yeah. I missed it because we were playing volleyball with their family. Shout out, by the way, because we have a volleyball league starting as well.
Yeah, we have a volleyball league starting
Tuesday. But Shane Steichen, from what I'm seeing, was a huge loss play calling wise because we don't know I don't even know if it's still Sirianni or their OC calling it there. And clearly, yes, the Colts played Houston, but you could tell the play calling differences before Anthony Richardson got hurt, and even when Gardner Minshew came in, right? But we'll talk about the Colts later. Philly's not looking great, but that conference is so weak that they're still, I feel like they'll find
They'll find a way to make the playoffs, but division is not as, easy. I thought,
especially
not as clear cut as I thought.
Especially how we'll get into the Giants in a second, but how I made it out to be.
Yeah, especially with the Cowboys.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much. Kirk Cousins, primetime loss, but not really on him. 4 touchdowns, 364 yards.
It was turnovers.
Yeah.
Do you notice how many turnovers they had?
No.
Bro,
he had 0 picks, so I don't know.
Yeah, the fumbles. Oh my goodness, fumbles are terrible. I think Madison had a
fumble and he lost it. Jefferson had a fumble and he lost it. Madison had a receiving fumble and lost it.
That's 3 right there. There was a punt return fumble in the first half as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, turnovers was another reason why Minnesota lost, but Yeah, they're 0-2.
So no, we'll get to it in a second because we're going to talk about the Cowboys game. But last thing, trouble brewing with AJ Brown. There's a lot of theme this time. AJ Brown, Sauce Gardner, what do you call it? Kind of deactivated his Twitter. You got Brees Hall saying I only got 4 touches, right? But in this case, Jalen Hurts played it off. Players are gonna get upset, especially.
I mean, like we said, it's a rushing attack right now.
Yeah, because AJ Brown had 4 receptions on 6 targets for 29 yards.
AJ Brown's not getting much. Devontae
Smith had a game.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Dallas Goedert had a game. Not yards wise, but he had more targets by 1 and a reception.
Are you concerned about the Eagles?
No, not right now. I think the Vikings are a capable team. The Patriots are a hard team to beat anyways. They made it harder on themselves. That's the difference, right? Like we'll get into the Sunday Night Football. It was a similar vibe with how the Dolphins played. But cause I'm not worried because that conference is so easy that I think they should make the playoffs, whether it be wild card 1 or whether it be division winners. Now the question is, they could still finish conference winners anyways, but that might be a little tough with how San Francisco is playing.
And Dallas.
But yeah. I wouldn't say I'm too worried. Let me just see what their schedule, who they're playing next. It is Buccaneers, who are kind of a surprise right now.
They're definitely a surprise.
Commanders, who are divisional games are going to be tough.
Yeah.
Those Rams.
Their
next couple are actually easy.
Yeah,
honestly, because
they could go on a roll.
Dolphins on the October 22nd.
Yeah, that's like down the line.
So
focus on their next couple.
No, their schedule gets way tougher after.
Yeah, obviously they're division winners. They're gonna have
but it's starting off pretty easy.
Yeah.
No, not too surprised, but whatever. I said it was gonna be a close game. It was a close game.
It was a close game.
Same margin. I think I said 27-21. This was 34-28.
Yeah, it was a touchdown loss.
Yeah.
I think I gave it a field goal loss for the Vikings. But yeah, I will get back to the Vikings later on because I have a question for you afterwards.
Sure.
So we'll move on to the next few games. We'll start off with the big one, Bengals-Ravens.
Okay, because I was going to ask you which game, because there's a bunch of games that actually went to the wire, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Shout out Red Zone.
But
not sponsored, but shout out Red Zone.
quick Bengals-Ravens recap. Bengals offense is getting booed off the field.
And it doesn't help now that Joe Burrow missed preseason, and now he re-aggravated that same injury, saying that it will be day to day. I thought he may have rushed back quickly.
Maybe,
personally, because calf injuries are no joke. Because we know what they lead to at times.
I mean, it happened to Rodgers. I think Rodgers.
It happened to Rodgers. It happened to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
So
this is how it works.
I don't know if again, I'm not a football player. I'm not Joe Burrow. I'm not Cincinnati's medical staff. So I don't know how healthy he truly is or how much he forced himself. Like maybe he should have taken a Travis Kelce rather than even though he didn't do anything in week 1 either in terms of touchdowns. He finally got a touchdown this game. T. Higgins got it, right? But yeah, they're getting booed off the field. Your number 1 guy, 31 yards, Jamar Chase.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Joe Mixon. It's not even like your running attack is doing anything. 59 yards for Joe Mixon. T. Higgins finally had himself a game. Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon were all receiving yard leaders, not Jamar Chase. So, this is your Super Bowl finalist or winner?
Finalist.
And your MVP pick.
Yeah, it's not a good start.
Yeah, no, like that division was gonna be tough, right? And I was gonna ask you this when we were recording TikToks and YouTube Shorts. I might as well ask a little bit right now. If you were to power rank now that Rodgers is injured, is this division the hardest in football? On the top of your head?
Yeah, 100%. Like Steelers, as much as they suck right now,
we'll find out what to do on Monday night.
As much as they sucked week 1, Tomlin finds a way to keep that team 500 somehow. Yeah. Right?
Baltimore.
Cleveland's defense is nice, and if Watson is improving, that could be a contender.
And they already
win it all.
And they already beat
the Bengals.
So Bengals already 0-2 in the division. Yeah. Already.
And then the Ravens, like you said, they're much improved. They still have health issues because Dobbins is out for the year. And we don't know what's going to happen to Lamar because it usually happens week 4, week 5 where he sits out. And we'll see what happens with that. But Lamar with a much cleaner game.
Yeah.
Right? 237, 2 touchdowns.
OBJ got hurt too.
OBJ, another injury-prone player. But yeah, Lamar is happy right now because he has someone to throw the ball to.
Nelson Aguilar was their leader.
Nelson Aguilar, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, OBJ. Those are some better options than Mark Andrews last
And
year.
you still have Rashad Bateman there, right?
Yeah.
Justin Tucker missed a field goal though. Is his time coming to an end?
Okay, he missed. It's not like he missed. He missed
I
one.
know.
Two
I'm
for
just
three.
kidding. You know.
But yeah, so that's
overreaction.
the Bengals Ravens. What's another one that caught your eye game wise?
Caught my eye. Seahawks Lions, because there's another game I want to talk. Actually, I have another game I want to talk about. A lot of games actually I want to talk about. We'll close out with Indy, but Seahawks Lions. One thing to the ref that said, "I'm talking to America right now."
Yo, you are the man. You're my favorite ref.
No, not even just that.
What?
We're in Canada. We're watching you too. You, I don't want to say racist because there's nothing racist here, but
Countryism.
yeah, whatever it is.
He told Gino off. You know,
Unicious.
he's the type of ref we need. You know, no nonsense. You know, not take anything from anyone, right? Like let him.
Okay, well, gotta
It's
be careful.
Gino's fault.
You-
Let the man talk to America, right?
Okay, I get that part, but you saying that no nonsense, you don't want a ref to take control of a game either.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of like that Colts game kind of went.
Bro,
too.
Gino is interrupting the man on his biggest moment of the day where he gets to talk to America. All right? All he wants to do is talk to America.
Hey,
and Gino's yelling at him.
I hate the disrespect of Canada though, because there's a lot of NFL fans up here.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
a lot of NFL fans.
I just
up
thought of
here.
that, but no, it was a funny moment. 2 weeks in a row, Gino's on a soundbite.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but no, this is more on the Lions because I personally picked the Seahawks to win this game.
Lions through this game.
But it was more so because one, I kind of wanted an underdog pick, and this was an underdog pick, and I had a feeling that the Lions are going to be on a high, and the Seahawks are trying to make a comeback, especially with how poor they play defensively, pass rush wise especially, and yeah, and they they come back, but the Lions, yeah, like you said, they blew it,
Lions through the game. Here's the reason why.
and on Barry Sanders night or day, I guess.
Yeah. One thing the Lions, I think I kind of costed Indy against Jaguars, over aggressiveness. You know, they were up by a touchdown. You know, should have punted the ball. I think they were in a 4th and 3 situation in their around midfield. Should have punted the ball. They were in field goal range. They were up by, I think, like a score. I don't know if it's 3 or 7.
Yeah.
Should have taken the points. So Dan Campbell, as much as the aggressiveness works in his favor, today it worked against him.
Yeah. But let's see. It's we're not gonna talk about next week right now.
Jared
but-
Goff finally threw a pick.
Okay, honestly, I'm looking through all the games today. There's something to talk about. So let's speed run through all the games.
Yeah, we got to speed run through.
We have to, because everything
can't-
had a storyline.
We can't like, you know, spend too much time except for one team.
Well, there's some games where like last week, like we didn't give a shit about.
Yeah, no,
nothing
but
really
like
happened.
we can't spend too much time except for one team, which is our team. But yeah,
Shout out any indie fans watching. But yeah, let's start from the top here based on the score. Probably early contender of my disappointing team, which we'll talk about more on Thursday's pod. Chicago Bears and Tampa Bay Buccaneers mixed in your most surprised team of the week.
yeah, that is true.
The reason why, so remember I was a little hesitant when we did our tier list that I don't want to put Tampa in F. And I was a little hesitant with them.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why, was Mike Evans. Is on that team still, right?
And Chris Godwin.
And yeah, that too. And I don't think Baker's a slouch. You know what I mean?
He was a slouch last year.
Yeah. But I feel like now, because last year he was still fighting for his spot. This year, yeah, he still was fighting for his spot, but I felt like he was in the lead the whole way. Because
But
that's why you signed him.
how long do you think Baker could hold this up?
Listen, he had that 1 year in Cleveland where he was solid.
Exactly, he only had 1 year.
Yeah, but that could be this year.
So like, oh yeah, it's a solid day for Baker.
It could be this year. Like, look at his numbers. Right? And it helps when you have Mike Evans going for 171 yards mixed in with Chris Godwin.
Do you think the shine is off Baker?
Yeah, because he's in Tampa Bay and there's no more Brady.
Right, like, you know, in
Like, the difference between Brady leaving New England and retiring from Tampa is because Belichick is still there. And there's always that talk, right?
Yeah, like,
here,
no,
no one gives a shit.
yeah, I'm talking about, yeah, I agree with that, but I'm just saying, like, in Cleveland, Cleveland, you know, it's a pretty old franchise, right? Like,
Yeah, but they were so shit.
But
and
they
he
never won.
He revived them.
he revived
He
them,
was the reason
right?
why they made
and
the
then
playoffs.
shine was on him, and he didn't produce.
And then the year after, they
And then
brought
obviously last year was a trade, you know, focus kind of on him, between him and Darnold. Let's
Yeah.
see who was gonna take the Carolina spot. None of them did really. And then yeah, this year I just felt like, you know, with Brady leaving, everyone just wrote off Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And I was probably the biggest one to write off Tampa Bay.
Because I was hesitant. Like, you instantly wrote off like a couple of teams from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Arizona being one of them.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Tampa Bay, and LA Rams. And so far, the last two teams I mentioned, even though the Rams lost today, which I guess we'll go. No, before we get into that, because we got to talk about the Bears and how shit they've been.
Yeah, but Tampa, they've been impressive. Baker's been impressive. Let's see how long they could continue on.
Tampa, the problem is Tampa is also division winners last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so they got some.
So they're gonna have tough competition, and that'll be the true test. Because who did Tampa play last week?
Mini.
Okay, yeah, so that's an upset. Like, no one thought
that was a division winner last year too.
Yeah, so no one thought Mini was gonna lose that game.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Bears.
There were many people that were saying, maybe some people were saying they should keep the pick and draft Bryce Young or whoever they thought the best QB was. There were also people saying and then trade Justin Fields, and then the second option was what they did, right? And there was people like Dan Orlovsky, who I respect as a QB analyst, right? Saying that possibly MVP talks with Justin Fields. And I'm like, I could see it.
I could see improvement.
Like a huge improvement, not like MVP. But I'm like, okay, I see where he's coming from, but not like MVP level.
But they have not improved.
Not at all. Like Green Bay, shout out to you guys too for improving so much.
Shit kicked them.
Yeah. And then today, I picked Chicago thinking they'll beat Tampa.
Yeah,
because of that, I'm like Tampa.
Tampa held their own, and the Bears did not.
But
yeah, no.
Improved
Bears
games from DJ Moore, Claypool is kind of, but
overall, it's not great.
You traded a first for Claypool, second, but Miami's pick being forfeited. They're technically transited to a first.
Yeah, first, but DJ Moore was a good addition, but he did play well. But genuinely, I don't think that trade's gonna cost him because Caleb Williams will be available next year potentially.
Yeah.
But there's question marks to Justin Fields. Before I was like, no, you trade the pick, you keep Fields, you build around him. But now
here's the thing.
There's getting question marks.
What's one of his biggest traits?
Running.
4 rushing attempts were 3 yards.
Yeah, so I don't think
even if it's not QB design runs, you should be able to scramble and get yourself maybe a first down.
If you're that
elite of a runner. Like, I'm not expecting you to be Tom Brady and stand in the pocket type of guy. You're not that guy, right?
Like Tom Brady's getting 3 yards.
Yeah, like 3 yards on 4 attempts only. Like, there should be more. There should be QB designs. I don't know who their OC is there because I know Eberflus is a head coach there. But yeah Chicago early contender for my disappointment of the week. Next game here, probably one of the top games. Atlanta versus Green Bay. For a sec, I thought, who's Atlanta's new kicker? I forgot that Bijan took number 7 from Younghoe Koo.
Yeah.
Your guy.
Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe Koo. And yeah, what a game it was.
Packers had it.
Packers had it and choked in the fourth. 13-0 fourth quarter.
It's weird seeing Atlanta do a reverse choke.
Seeing Green Bay, and I understand they lost this game, but this was without Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's true.
And still without
Christian
Watson.
So 2 key pieces on their offense are gone.
And yeah, Jordan Love still had 3 touchdown passes. Yeah, not as many yards as last week maybe, but
So he's killing in touchdown wise.
Yeah, it's not really on him, but
Bijan did what Bijan was supposed to do.
Yeah.
19 rush, 124 yards.
Drake London finally had moments.
Desmond Ridder had an improved game as a passer wise. He did throw a pick.
Early pick.
But did he get a rushing touchdown as well?
Desmond Ridder?
Yeah, he got a rushing touchdown as well.
Yeah, he did.
So he got 2 total touchdowns and a pick. And
but you kind of expect from that's a Desmond Ridder type game.
I expected this from Atlanta a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know how far they're gonna go with it. But I expect them to be competitive in that division, especially how shit it is.
Yeah.
And then Green Bay wise,
impressive so far.
Yeah,
especially
really
to us,
impressive so
we
far.
thought they were going to be the worst in that. And Chicago is by far the worst team right now in the NFL, probably.
Yeah, you could say that for sure.
Next up, Tennessee and LA. This is another team contender for disappointment of the week for me. LA Chargers.
Did they have a lead, right?
Yeah. 2 games in a row where they were there. I'm not saying they should have easily beaten Miami, but they were there and couldn't close it out. This one, they should have closed it out.
And they couldn't.
Justin Herbert, 305 yards, but his completion percentage was the greatest. But when you have Keenan Allen kind of going off and Mike Williams going off.
Keenan Allen really went off.
111
because I
yards.
know firsthand.
But yeah,
fantasy.
People still think Tennessee might win the division, and I see why, because you have a dominant running back, still arguably the most dominant running
Tennessee's
back.
still a competent team.
But and then D-Hop, it helps a lot, right? Even though he hasn't really like getting a lot of numbers right now, because obviously
Obviously, a run first offense.
Yeah, and LA, like, they were one of those teams that I thought were a Super Bowl aspiration team. Not even just playoffs, because they're that good.
On
so
paper.
far, on paper, so far they're letting me down. Like, they're one of the teams, like, outside of the Colts.
Is it defense again? Realistically, they had a lead, right? It was a 14-10 lead at half.
Yes, 14-10 at half. They were down going into the fourth, but then I don't know. But I think they were up late, and Tennessee got a touchdown late, if I'm not mistaken. And then LA had to come back and get a field goal to go to overtime.
That's what happened, right? So,
but even then, I think they should have ultimately handled Tennessee.
Ultimately, they should have handled Tennessee, but when you have to make defensive plays, they have not. That's what they have done this year so far, because you need to make a clutch stop and you didn't. And who is a defensive coach on that team? Brandon Staley. So,
is he a mid-season fire for you?
I think he potentially could be, because they're 0-2.
It's either him or Flus right now.
Yeah,
sure.
It genuinely is. But yeah, no, Titans respect. I hate you guys, but
we're coming, baby. As long as Anthony Richardson's healthy, we're coming.
Yeah, that's gonna be a key piece there.
Okay.
Bills, Raiders.
This is the game that we don't even talk about much. Bills did Bills thing, bounced back.
Allen bounced back.
And Raiders did Raiders thing and shot the bed like we expected them to.
Freaking Josh Jacobs, man. How the hell do you end up with -2 rushing yards?
Man wants to get paid, and that's what happens.
-2 rushing yards. Jimmy Garoppolo had more rushing yards than you.
Devontae Adams, go request a trade.
Yeah, genuinely, he's still solid.
He's still solid.
But yeah, no, Jacobs, I'm dropping you in my fantasy.
Yeah, just drop. All right, not to make this a Joven fantasy show, because I'm not in that. But
I got whooped, man. Like, I deserve to be pissed off. Like, all my players didn't perform. Diggs didn't get a touchdown. Josh Jacobs did this shit.
Well, you didn't listen to me and didn't.
That doesn't matter. I was still lost by like freaking.
But still,
I was losing by 60.
I had some input that could have helped you positively.
I would have lost by 50 then.
I don't care. I would have helped you positively still.
It doesn't matter. I got whooped.
But no, enough of that game. That's like probably the most least talked about game. Chiefs Jaguars here. 17-9. You would think this game should be higher, right?
I guess it was a defense game.
Chris Jones came back, made an big impact.
Calvin Ridley shot the bed.
Not Calvin Ridley. I mean, Travis Kelce came back as well. T-Law, 0 TDs. I think they were all field goals. So here's the thing. If the Jaguars really want to make a statement, this was the game to make the statement in.
Yeah, Lions did it.
You had the Chiefs. Yes, I understand the top two players. Top two players outside of Mahomes came back, as you would like to word it. The other two that need to be with Mahomes in order to have a chance. The three that need
to play for the Chiefs in order to chance to win the Super Bowl is those three players: Jones, Kelce, and Mahomes.
And Mahomes having a 29 for 41, having a pick.
It's not the greatest performance, but
the Jaguars, Chiefs, I'm disappointed in that performance.
Very disappointed.
They should have definitely made a statement.
The Lions, you know how I made a point? The Lions beat them. Obviously, they didn't have those two players. The Jaguars are a better team than Lions, in my opinion.
I guess what helped.
In my opinion, Jaguars are better than Lions.
The Chiefs was, and it did not help the Jaguars. Kadarius Toney made plays.
I guess that's true, yeah.
But even then, like five for 35. Sky Moore had a game, 3 receptions for 70 yards. But overall,
you get more open.
You still would have expected Jaguars offensively with Doug Peterson, with Calvin Ridley, Trevor Lawrence
to do something.
Christian Kirk
to do something.
Travis Etienne to do something offensively, and not having a touchdown is disappointing for sure.
And also, Kelce coming back probably opens up the receivers a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right, like because he is the number one option.
All right, let's move down.
Puka Nacua
has broken the NFL record for most receptions by a rookie in their first 2 games with 20.
I didn't know they had.
Let me know in the comments who's ever watching this if you guys knew who this guy was before the season started.
Because this man just absolutely went off.
If I'm not mistaken, it was a 5th round pick.
It was 5th round pick, yeah.
And, for a team that I said I have a gut feeling that this team might do something, but I'm not going to back him off.
I wrote him off.
I didn't write him off. You wrote him off.
I wrote him off.
Made it a game against San Francisco at the end of the day.
Yeah, a touchdown score win.
Matt Stafford obviously has a new number 1 right now with Cooper Kupp out. And Aaron Donald still wreaking havoc there. Yeah, like obviously, shout out to our mama who was stressing over this game because of sports betting reasons.
Bets on the line.
Once again, just a reminder to everybody: we give our opinion. This does not mean you use it for sports betting and blame us afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. End of disclaimer there.
We don't know how to bet, anyways.
Exactly.
Like we don't know how it works.
But yeah, like Christian McCaffrey would probably be leading Opoy already.
Yeah, that's true.
And Brock Purdy still doing Brock Purdy things.
Still
but
undefeated.
a touchdown game is obviously divisional game, makes sense in LA.
Yeah.
But still
undefeated in regular season.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy. So yeah, give credit to Niners. They've found a way, but
give credit to Rams. They're not making it.
Give credit to Rams.
Even though Stafford threw 2 picks.
Without Cooper Kupp, I thought this team was done, but I guess they found an internal Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. By the way, Justin Fields, your 4 receptions, 3 yards are bullshit. No excuse. Because Matt Stafford, with that bomb O-line, went 4 rushes for 17 yards.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's true. But next game, Giants, Cardinals, what the hell just happened?
Okay.
Because the Cardinals...
The first 2... we're at your game. I'm sitting there. You're on the bench. I'm like, yo. Yeah, my Cowboys take... my Giants take might be gonna bite me in the ass.
And it still is.
It kind of still is.
It still is.
Because it's the Cardinals. I understand that. But still, blowing a 20-0 and a 28-7 lead, the only thing that I would have hoped for was maybe Cardinals up 34-0 so they could take the record back from the Colts.
This is the Cardinals' way of not showing their tanking.
Listen.
because
they know they have Houston.
Huh?
They have Houston's pick too. So either way.
They're trying to figure out a way. How do I show the NFL that I'm not purposely tanking? And this is how they're doing it.
But then Giants woke up in the second half. You gotta give them a shout out on that.
I'll give them credit for fighting through it, but god damn, how long did it take you to score your first points? How the hell are you down 21-0 to the Cardinals?
Yeah, they were what? They got second.
That's inexcusable. This game was inexcusable for them. Doesn't matter they won, right? They need to be better.
Their first points came in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
Now, let's see if this is a wake-up call and they could get going here. But
it's kind of hard to get going when Saquon might be injured.
True, but it's not like he was doing much.
No, he got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but... yeah, no, that game, almost historic. The only thing, as a Colts fan, we're just hoping someone has a 34-0 lead and blows it.
All right, next game. Are the Cowboys the best team in the NFL?
No.
I give them it.
I'm not. They have the best defense. I'll give them that. I'm not giving them the best overall. Still, I'm still thinking that currently, I still think that's based on the first 2 weeks. I'm giving it to San Francisco.
You're still giving San Francisco.
I'm still giving it to San Francisco.
I mean, right now it's between those two, but 2 dominating wins against 2 decent teams, right? Yes, Jets are without Aaron Rodgers, but Jets are a better team than they were last year.
I'm looking at Doc's numbers. Played well, 31 for 38, 255.
Jets still have a good defense, right?
First off, Zach Wilson, 12 for 27. 3 picks. Now, I get it. You're playing probably the best defense in the league.
I think they were in the fourth quarter. He just choked them, basically.
But either way, you're playing.
So they
were in the game. They were near there.
Yeah, so he just choked in the fourth quarter.
Okay, so whoever the GM is, picks up the phone and calls Indy for Gardner Minshew. Not saying they'll make anything. I'm saying upgrades from this guy.
Yeah.
Because they still have a chance. I'm not saying they'll win the Super Bowl with this guy. Call the Rams for Matt Stafford. I'm not saying. I'm just saying they should make a call. I'm not saying what these.
I think Stafford's highly unlikely because
I'm just saying in general.
They already have that commitment.
True.
Contract-wise to Rodgers.
Sure. I'm just saying in general right now is do they call those 2? Do they call Tennessee for Ryan Tannehill depending on how they go going forward? Because you still have a stud.
You don't have
roster.
Mike White. You don't have Mike White anymore.
Yeah.
And Mike White had some good games.
Those are the 3 on top of my head trade-wise that are coming on the top of my head. Heck, Carson Wentz could help this team better than Zach Wilson right now. I'm saying that as an Indy fan.
We don't know about that.
But I'm saying over Zach Wilson right now, and I don't know how much of this is Hackett's play calling isn't the greatest, and because he's just literally Aaron Rodgers and that's it. But they need to make a call at QB. Some way, somehow make a trade, find a signing that could help them. I don't know. If you're not firing Hackett, clearly.
If you're telling me Aaron Rodgers has a hopes of making a playoff return, Just find a way to make the playoffs.
Exactly. And I don't know how. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is going back to his Aaron Rodgers ways of what makes him being disliked by saying stuff like this. That he got a weird, different surgery that will help him get back quicker, and it's gonna, shock some people. But
is his Achilles going in a darkness retreat?
I have no clue what surgery he got that will help him get back in with it less than let alone a year, less than 6 months.
Achilles was 1 year injuries, right?
Normally,
right,
even longer,
like one calendar year. But like they've been reduced to like obviously tech innovations and shit. Medicine.
Clearly, Aaron Rodgers is onto something.
Yeah, medicine innovations. It's moved down to like 9 months.
Yeah,
right. Potentially, some even came back in like 6, 7.
Football wise, yeah, different in basketball, but
yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying there isn't a chance, right? But like I don't know what freaking thing you are on that like saying that like.
There's two other things. There's no way you're leading rush carry person. I'm not saying yard wise. The person who carries it. Brees Hall having 4 touches.
Inexcusable.
Dalvin Cook having 4 touches.
Inexcusable.
And Zach Wilson had 5.
Inexcusable.
Right? Like,
you need to base this team. Like, you need to.
What worked last week in their win with Buffalo?
You need to call Tennessee and steal the playbook. That's what you need to do.
Like, what worked for them in Buffalo? Literally do that again.
Zach Wilson could use his legs, right? Freaking run the shit out of Brees Hall, run the shit out of Dalvin Cook, right? And play action Zach Wilson, roll him out into the pocket.
Or even like read options or whatever.
And get the ball to Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, which worked. And for Garrett Wilson part, it worked.
What you did in week 1 needs to be the formula winning.
I understand why.
Peyton Manning was right. Run the ball. Run the ball. Even if it's 3rd and 14, run the ball.
Yeah, like there's no inexcusable there. Dallas on the flip side, I'm not ready to give them the best team right now early. I'm still gonna give San Francisco that edge. But yeah, they're damn close. I'll say that much. They're close.
This is probably the most dominant I've seen them been.
Yeah.
So Dallas fans, you might be onto something this year.
But don't worry, you'll fall back down like Stephen A. Smith likes to say.
What can go wrong will go wrong. But the thing is,
they are literally the Toronto Maple Leafs of football.
I don't know what can go wrong right now.
They're England soccer of football.
Yeah.
They're Toronto Maple Leafs of football.
They're choke artists. They are choke artists.
All right, moving on. What could have been? Washington, Denver. Denver blows a 21-0 lead. This is the case of Russell Wilson's career in a game the last 2 weeks. Amazing first half of the season. In this case, games. Not so great second half.
Happened for game 1. Happened game 2. And yeah, basically
21-0 lead blown. They were down, I think, 28.
Yeah, no, it's inexcusable, right? Denver is not there yet. They're still disappointing. And yeah, Washington
got the Hail Mary.
They got the Hail Mary.
Got the Hail Mary, which was surprising. I'm like, oh yeah, they're done. But got the Hail Mary. Shout out to my friend who decided to spoil it for me. But the 2-point conversion failed. So at the end of the day, it was for nothing. But I still think that was a DPI. So he should have.
Yeah, I think so, right? I thought it was too.
But at the end of the day, like, people are gonna say, "Oh, did they get robbed?" No, because he had a 21-0 lead.
You can't.
You didn't get robbed. Not considering that a robbery.
And then credit to Washington, Sam Howell and the crew did.
Yeah, Sam Howell bounce back game. Terry McLaurin 54 yards only though. So it was an all around game. Like if you look at the yardage,
they have
Bates,
weapons,
Gibson,
right? It depends on Howell, right? They have a decent defense, and surprised that they got cooked that bad where they allowed 33 points.
Yeah.
And 21-0 lead. But then again, like if your offense isn't going right, what the hell is your defense going to do? But yeah, that's the Washington.
Okay, wait. Last question with that. Sorry.
Washington, no.
Yeah, I know. Last question though. Denver, did we overhype Sean Payton way too much?
I didn't. I told him to be shit.
I'm saying okay. I kind of did. I'll say that. But I'm saying as a, people around the NFL.
It was a bigger mess than he probably thought it was.
So what I'm saying is, did we overhype his level as a coach? Because at the end of the day, one Super Bowl didn't go back.
He's still
he got robbed in that Rams.
He's a good coach, right? We're not knocking him that, right? Upgrade and stuff, but like,
do we overhype him?
I don't think it's overhype. I think he underestimated the situation.
Yeah, people are already projecting.
Yeah,
people are already projecting that this is gonna be his only year.
It could be, right?
Like people are saying that will Wilson leave or will he leave first?
Yeah,
type of thing.
But moving on to Sunday Night Football,
Yeah,
solid game.
yeah. It was.
As a
I
watch.
expected it.
But yeah, no, Miami was in control, but allowed Patriots back in it, right? Like how
Constantly.
Eagles did with Patriots in week 1. So Mac Jones, honestly, is showing something.
Yeah.
He is showing something.
But my question to you, first question that came into my head: how did Christian Gonzalez fall that much, and you gave him to Belichick?
He is a stud, man. He's
He was. It was him and Devon Witherspoon were 1 and 2, and I'm saying in the top 10. 1
Yeah,
and 2.
and I
Not
think
saying that.
Commanders took Emmanuel Forbes over him.
Yeah,
And
which
I
he's
think-
doing decent himself.
Yeah, he's doing decent
nothing
himself.
against him,
But
but I'm
like
saying
Christian Gonzalez was a top 10 pick,
yeah.
right?
Like, it
in
was
the
between
mocks.
him and Witherspoon to be the first cornerback
Like the first
off the
corner,
board.
yeah.
And it wasn't gonna be that far off. Like how you remember J.C. Horn and Sertan and all these guys.
But once I saw Christian Gonzalez and then Patriots were next, I was like, okay, he's going here.
Yeah,
But no, this man was like on Tyreek Hill.
yeah.
And
Like,
got a pick.
on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill had 5 receptions on 9 targets, so he made a miss 4 times
Yeah.
for 40 yards.
It's not, it was like,
Tyreek Hill had what 200 yards last week.
yeah.
So on a rookie on him, yeah, that's insane. Like you let him fall to the one of the greatest defensive minds in football, greatest coaches in football. Now that being said, yeah, I think New England had 2 tough games to start off with, and they held their own.
They're 2 tough games.
So they will be in that 7th wild card, like 3rd wild card spot, 7th team.
They might not be the worst team in the division.
No, I still think that might be. It could be the Jets.
It could be the Jets, right? Yeah, it could be the Jets with Zach Wilson. But
Miami, on the other hand, shout out Mike McDaniel, funny guy, running
bro,
sprinting.
this guy is actually so likable.
I
It's not even
need
funny.
Rodrigo Blankenship on that team. I don't care if it's not just stand beside him, just cause.
But no, Mike McDaniel doing sprints at halftime.
Is this the best team in the AFC?
Yes, they have
Undoubtedly, or is there a debate?
shown, right now after the 2 weeks. They are the
Baltimore?
best team. Baltimore has a case.
I'm
But
not-
Miami has been the most complete team
Okay.
so far.
All right. That's Sunday Night Football. Nothing much to talk about. It was like a mad game. It was like okay game.
Bro, the ending play. Mike Gesicki lateral
Oh! Yeah.
to Cole Strange.
Yeah. Cole Strange.
I don't care if that was like half a yard short. Just give that dude that first
Just
down.
for that sake, because I get it. You could see the knee in the ball, but like
yeah.
it wasn't obviously clear.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Now, obviously, we're just saying this because
That play was nice.
that was a nice play.
That was
That's
a smart
it.
play.
There's no
It was
other
a
reason
smart
to it.
play by Mike Gesicki, about to get tackled, just lateral there. Cole Strange
And,
and like his offensive lineman buddies.
Kind of gave vibes of last year, but that didn't turn out to be a disaster.
A good. It was a good one. It was
Yeah,
the fixture.
this one was kind of needed because it was 4th down,
Yeah, it was true.
and they were down.
They were
that
down.
game they were tied.
Yeah, so it came down to 2 4th down plays in the last minute
Yeah,
that for Patriots to lose.
yeah. All
So-
right, let's end off with Indy, Houston. Just go quick. Anthony Richardson. As Colts fans,
We
we got a running quarterback and we're happy with it.
we got a quarterback.
Problem-
We could say that we have a quarterback that we could
Potential. Now,
rely on,
granted,
and it could be a potential.
we're
franchise
playing a
quarterback
team
that had no safeties
and no O line on
and
the
no
other side of the
line.
ball.
Yeah,
But Anthony Richardson's obviously not hating, but it is true that he needs to protect himself a little bit better.
yeah,
Because there was I don't think he should have been hit at that. I think from what I heard, and Pittman said it, that I think he didn't see the last defender on that concussion play.
yeah.
Because he slowed down
he did slow down
instead
He
of
did slow down.
sprinting all the way.
Yeah, if he sprinted all the way, or
Because then if he got hit, it would have been a penalty on top, right?
yeah. So if he sprinted all the way, it would have been a clear touchdown. He did slow
But
down.
this
The
is-
second rushing touchdown, and or just slide at the one.
This
or
is
something.
where Shane Steichen's play calling came crazy because 2 things stood out. One, he got the team to believe DeForest Buckner having himself a season so far, showing why he should be the second best after Aaron Donald maybe.
Chris Jones.
I'm just saying showing why.
Chris Jones.
But once upon a time he was.
Yeah.
And even though I feel like he could be traded because of value purposes and his age,
But this team-
the leadership there, because you saw the Colts clips.
This team could do something.
Pittman, he's got like Pittman blocking, wide receivers blocking. He's got different wide receivers going. Josh Downs having a good rookie year so far, not making an Overroy case, obviously.
Kylan Granson getting his first touchdown.
Kylan Granson. Indy's fun to watch. Now it helps that it's we don't have any expectations like some of
Yeah,
the
that's
teams on
true.
this wall here that we're gonna be having to talk about later on. But yeah, it was just fun to watch. And
With
defensively,
Gardner, with and without Richardson, it was fun to watch.
Defensively, man, we need Stephon. If
We need a
were able to,
secondary, yeah.
we need a secondary. I'm not saying Stephon Gilmore.
If we still had Gilmore,
this team could have been something.
this defense was definitely going to be the most underrated in the NFL.
We gave Jacksonville trouble. We
handled Houston.
We'll see what happens with Baltimore next week. But Richardson being concussion protocol. By the way, shout out Gardner Minshew, because that's why I said for Jets to call him, because he came in and did his job. 2 touchdown drives immediately. And Steichen, master call on the punt to
waste a timeout, right?
To waste him a timeout, and then because he didn't end up going for it on 4th down anyways.
But I'm gonna say this much, right? Like I'm not overreacting. It was Houston without an O-line, Houston without Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie, the 2 starting safeties. But so far, what the Colts have shown me is that they lost a game that they're supposed to lose, and they won a game that they're supposed to win. Right? Chips falling in the right. They're playing good football. The chips fall in the right, places. One of the chips being Anthony Richardson staying healthy, and probably upsetting a couple of teams here and there. This team could potentially do something.
Division's weak. Division is weak. So Jacksonville clearly showed today that they're playing the top teams and they couldn't handle.
Jacksonville has a tough schedule.
Yeah. So compared to Indy, they have a chance. Now, am I putting my money on it? No. But like how everybody's saying that they're a clear bottom 5 team, I don't see that.
They're not a bottom 5 team.
Let's talk about Houston quickly. CJ Stroud has game.
CJ Stroud's good.
Tank Dell, Nico Collins killed us. That's where we need a secondary help.
They like I said, they will be good.
That division
in 1 or 2 years.
That division in a couple of years. Now, depending on what happens with Will
Levis,
could be the best and most talented quarterbacks in that division.
Yeah, Lawrence, Stroud, Richardson.
And then we'll see what happens with Tennessee.
Just hopefully but I'm just saying this much, like Colts with Anthony Richardson could do something this year.
Perfect coach we got.
Perfect coach. He's got the team believing. Defense is killing it so far. Offense
and we're talking
offense is doing something.
Defensively, we're not talking much about Shaq.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the turnover king, right? That once upon a time made him the best linebacker.
Yeah, but his presence is
leadership
there.
wise for sure. And Buckner, oh my, yeah, right now
that D line, Kwity Paye.
Buckner,
Kwity Paye, Samsung Ebukam.
Obviously, Micah Parsons, what I didn't mention, is probably deploy this year. Clearly.
Oh yeah.
But Buckner could be the conversation of the final 3. As the first 2 games.
So far, yeah. I agree with that 100%. But yeah.
It's clearly Micah Parsons' award right now.
But yeah, no, like chips falling in the right place, a couple upset wins here, there, staying healthy the whole year. This team could potentially find himself in a playoff spot.
All right. That's probably enough.
That's enough, yeah.
Off the top of your head, and we'll talk about it a little bit more on Thursdays, because two games are still happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which 2-0 team do you think will lose first, or like go
which 2-0 team will fall off first?
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you this too.
Okay.
First one, I'm gonna just say it. I'm not gonna say Tampa Bay I'm not gonna say Tampa Bay because I did shut on them for a bit because I do believe their division is easy, but I'm going with Washington.
Yeah.
Right. Tough division. Barely beat the Cardinals. We're getting whooped by Broncos, but like it's no big accomplishment beating the Broncos, to be fair.
Yeah.
So like their 2 wins were like, all right, you're supposed to win, but how you won them were like weird. Okay.
On the flip side,
convincing.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm not going to even argue that because I think the other teams are slightly better than them. Which 2-0 team do you think will be the last remaining undefeated team? Now, granted, tomorrow we also have the Saints playing.
2-0 team last run. Right now,
is this San Francisco?
It's between San Francisco and Dallas. They've just been the most dominating team so far this year. I don't know what's like the upcoming schedules for both. Because I genuinely might.
Because I'm looking at Baltimore, and Baltimore has an easy schedule.
Oh yeah, Baltimore's got us too.
Baltimore's got an easy schedule. They got us. They got Browns. It will be tough. I'm not saying it'll be easy. Yeah, Steelers, Titans, Lions, Cardinals, Seahawks. Because keep in mind, they did not finish top in the division.
Week 5.
Did they finish second in the division, by the way?
Ravens?
Yeah.
Last year, yeah. They were.
Or was it Steelers?
It was Ravens. Ravens went playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they did. Okay.
Week 5, by the way. Cowboys at 49ers.
So there you go. That's first test there, which means that alone could help the Ravens alone because they have an easy schedule.
But
so I'm going to go with my answer as the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm still probably going to stick with the Niners.
You're going to stick with the winner of that game?
Yeah, just stick with the winner of that game.
Okay, flip side.
Yeah.
Last thing before we go into Monday night. very quickly, and we'll see if anything changes after tomorrow. 0-2. Which team will win first? I'm going with the Chargers. Cincy, it depends on Joe Burrow.
I think Cincy is like very concerning for me right now because they're in that situation with Joe Burrow. I don't think it's anything like last year.
Yeah,
but
it's got to be the Chargers.
Who the Chargers play next?
It could be Minnesota. No,
is it
Chargers?
I'm checking right now.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Perfect. That's the.
I was gonna pick Vikings.
Yeah, so the winner of that, literally. Then
I was genuinely gonna pick Vikings.
So it's the winner of that. Like those two teams have no business being 0-2. In
Yeah,
my
that's
opinion.
true.
At least 1-1.
Yeah, 100%.
So
1-1.
yeah, okay. Let's go on to Monday night because we obviously have some.
What about? Oh, yeah, I forgot this 2-0 Miami.
Yeah, but I feel like the division is tough. That
it's between those 4 teams.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, no. Washington, no. I don't know who else is there, but yeah.
Tomorrow we'll find out if Saints go.
Colts are tied first.
Or today, technically, because the pod will be
Colts are tied first place in the division.
Yeah.
Even though the 3 teams are 1-1.
Exactly.
But yeah, Monday Night Football. Any prediction?
There's 2
games.
Saints, Panthers, potentially 2-0, 0-2 conversation we could have on Wednesday or Thursday. Browns, Steelers, potential 2-0 and 0-2 conversation there as well.
Yeah.
And Saints, Panthers, obviously easy pick for me was the Saints. I feel like I said,
Saints.
I think they should have run away with that division. They might be that if they go 2-0, I might have to pick with them because their schedule's that easy.
Their schedule is easy.
I feel like they could go pretty, depending on how they work out.
By the way, Bryce Young, you got some pressure on you. Even though Richardson played 1 quarter, he performed. Stroud performed. So as a number 1 overall
and other
pick,
guys like Sam Howell and them are performing.
As a number 1 overall pick, you gotta kind of show out.
But you're going up against Cam Jordan and that defense.
Good luck.
So it's gonna be tough. And Saints usually bring the defense. But
yeah, I agree with you. Saints winning.
Saints by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think Saints should handle them. Browns Steelers.
This is a tough one because again, toughest division in football.
Division game.
Clearly, division game. They have a rivalry, obviously. I went with the Browns.
I went with the Steelers with the upset.
Yeah, because they're -2 favorites, Browns. So it's not that big.
I do think the Browns are a better team on paper.
Yeah,
for sure. But I think
question mark is Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I was going the Steelers. I think the Steelers offense need to produce.
Because Matt Canada was questioned last week. And yes, they're not going to be facing Niners defense, but like you said, Browns
defense is nice.
Myles Garrett.
Jim Schwartz as DC.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett and Darius Smith.
Bubba Ventrone is their special teams.
Yeah.
Shout out.
But yeah, no. This, like I said, this Browns team could be a contender if Deshaun Watson could figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. And
at least we have a good Monday Night Football game to watch.
Yeah, it'll be
one of them, and it's the later one.
I feel like it's gonna be low scoring, this Browns Steelers game, because both are.
I feel like
better
it's
defenses.
I feel like it's one or the other.
Both teams' defense is better than their offense right now at this current moment.
Yeah, I feel like it's either or. But I lean towards a lower score. So if I'm going to go with that, I'm going to go Browns by 3. Probably like 24-21, 27-24 vibe.
It could be something like that.
Yeah. But
yeah, my pick is the Steelers. Your pick is the Browns. See what happens. It'll be a big one. Fun one tomorrow.
Definitely one of us
today,
changed our teams. But the teams, but... Yeah, that's it for NFL. Right now, we'll get more into our disappointments and all that. After these games happen.
Yeah, after the next episode.
Because, there's no
point.
And
we've been talked a lot NFL for like almost an hour now. So
because every game was worth talking about but one, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move on to...
Big news. Oh, no, let's college football quickly. Colorado versus Colorado State. Who would have thought me and you at the West Coast, Pacific Standard Time, and I've seen a lot of tweets of people being up at 1 a.m. watching this game.
11:30 finish for us.
Yeah, which means those people were up till like 2:30 watching this game.
And what a game it was. Genuinely.
Obviously, a lot of drama, a lot of personal. Jay Norvell.
A lot of beef.
A lot of beef. Travis Hunter getting now that thing sucks because they're playing Oregon next week.
Oregon and USC.
And then USC after that.
A week after, yeah.
No Travis Hunter, probably for both those games, even though Shadur Sanders is balling. It's
the biggest loss you could have.
You do on both sides.
A man could play ball on both sides, right? And hopefully he could get healthy and play again this year because he was genuine Heisman candidate. Same as Shadur Sanders, who's shown out. Big reason why that comeback happened. But Dion got these guys believing. Yes, it was a tough game. But rivalry games are tough games, right? And then this program was absolutely terrible last year. They got some boys believing that like this team could do something this year.
1-11 last year, like you mentioned, I think. And
I think one thing they said they could improve on is the D line, right? Because I don't think they're getting enough pressure on the quarterback. And yeah, that's all I got for them.
on the flip side, that game, the Oregon game, will be fun to watch because Bo Nix is not. I don't think has my favorite, but he was one of the favorites preseason. But Alabama, what a fall off right now. They went through 3 quarterbacks in the first
They have
3
an issue.
weeks.
They do have an issue.
And they dropped in the rankings out of the top 10. Colorado dropped 1 spot because at the end of the day, they should have handled on paper Colorado State. But a team like UW from, just below us on across the border, Michael Penix having a great,
Solid year so
right?
far.
Probably is Heisman favorite at the moment because Travis Hunter is out.
Caleb
Caleb Williams is still doing what he's doing. USC should be in the playoff right now. But who is the top 4? It's Georgia still.
You got Florida State,
Florida State,
Michigan at number 2, I think. And I forgot who the 4 team is.
Because
Yeah.
the 3 and 4 is swapped.
Yeah, they
from what I
dropped. Yeah.
remember. By the way, this is Bama's first time out of the top 10 since 2015.
That's a while. That's a long time.
It's Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Florida State.
Yeah, Texas.
And then USC is just out.
So you got Georgia. I don't know who the quarterback is, but that defense is always stud. Michigan, same thing. They are.
And this is without Harbaugh coaching.
Yeah, they're a run and a defense team. Without
Quinn-
Harbaugh, it's impressive.
Texas is in a good spot. Quinn
Texas,
Ewers is
Quinn
going to get
Ewers.
drafted, and then they got Arch Manning. on
Yeah,
the background.
Texas and Florida State. Quinn Ewers. Florida State has Jordan Travis. So yeah, and then Michael Penix in the top 10
at 8.
at 8
And then
as
Ohio.
well.
Yeah, so fun call, guys. Check
gonna
out
be a
some
fun
college
season.
football.
It's
Saturdays, my Saturdays are busy before our games, our soccer games. Is like just have college football in the background and try to get some editing done and
Yeah,
figure out
but it's
podcast
hard.
guests and stuff.
It's actually
but
there's some good games now,
yeah,
and it's hard
especially
to get
next week, starting now.
Yeah, it's hard to get editing done because we're always distracted,
Yeah.
and that's not a good sign for me in school. But well, I'll figure it out.
All right. Yeah. Let's move on. We got other massive news out of the NHL, and we mentioned this Mike Babcock situation. So a quick refresher here. Spit and Chicklets podcast. Paul Bizanet. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bizanet, I believe. Biznasty, as people might know him.
Yeah.
It's a player-led podcast with Ryan Whitney, I believe. And he got an anonymous text from a player stating Babcock's or a person he might know, Babcock's back at it his old ways again. And the thing was that he takes people's phone or makes someone take their phone and show him pictures and airdrops them to his TV. Now people took this out of context that it could be like, in Biznasty's words, throbbing dick pics of Bruce Jenner, even though that wasn't the case. He just said that.
Yeah.
But it, in personal pictures could be on there. You don't know, right? Like people on their phone. But it was later come out, the statement by him and Boone Jenner, and eventually Johnny Gaudreau at the players thing that Quinn Hughes was at too, was saying it was just pictures of family. We were just talking about family. Can I see pictures? Airdrop. Now, either way, it was like weirdo behavior.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, imagine you playing a sport and your coach is like, yo, let me see pictures of your family. And looks through them, looks through your phone, social media, whatever. So, people started blasting the Spit and Chicklets podcast, like, where'd you get the sources from, blah, blah, blah. Now, we came on and said, everything's allegedly still, allegedly. Because we're like, okay, at the end of the day, he can't be talking out of his ass for no reason, right? He's a former player.
Yeah.
Players are comfortable with other players. And NHL and NHLPA wanted an investigation for the last, this was on Wednesday. So, like, it was literally, I think the news came out on Wednesday.
This was like last 3 days, 4 days.
So, news are coming out, blah, 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 calling out, and then Babcock does have a history. This is not out of the blue.
He does have a history.
Mitch Martin, like, not treating players properly. Back in Detroit,
Even in
Johan
Detroit,
Franzen came out and said stuff. Mitch Marner, at the end of the day, whatever you want to say about Toronto. Ultimately, he got fired because their team was also struggling.
Yeah.
And he didn't coach for the next 3 years because he was under contract, for a 6-year contract, by the way.
Yeah.
And coached Saskatchewan, his home province. and then came back when his contract ended to go to Columbus. Now, this is a long-winded answer for me to say that after investigation still going on, he decided to resign.
Yeah, and he just like
People were talking about firing him. He decided to resign.
he steps down.
He steps down, and look at the replacement's name as his associate coach. Is now the Columbus
but
coach.
yeah, his reasoning was like it's just gonna be too much of a distraction now.
Well, that's what
Columbus.
he's gonna say, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it can't come out of nowhere. People were blasting the Spit and Chicklets podcast that like, oh, like you guys are bullshitting. Like clearly they don't have an issue. I was looking at it like that might be a PR stunt with that statement, Boone Jenner statement coming out.
Yeah. Who knows?
But there's Elliot Friedman reporting. Do you have the coach or no?
The coach name is Pascal Vincent.
Okay.
Their associate coach taking over.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's just like a full-time thing or an interim thing. But Babcock spent several minutes scrolling through young players' phones, looking at all photos and more, away from any team facility and without management's knowledge. So clearly, more reports have come out, and now everybody's apologizing to Biz Nasty in the pod because they know something. At the end of the day,
They know something.
you're
Right?
comfortable with the player talking and they want you to say stuff, they'll go to them and they'll say it. They won't obviously kept it anonymous. We don't know if it's a Columbus player, but it should be. So imagine guys like Kent Johnson, who got drafted this year.
Fantilli.
Yeah, like they felt weird, obviously, right? Is it different?
Wait,
Adam Fantilli, yeah, he fell.
he fell. Wait, who? What was the order? It was Bedard
Leo Carlson.
to who was second again?
Leo Carlson.
No, like what team?
Ducks.
Okay, yeah. So Fantilli.
Fantilli dropped to 3, I remember.
Yeah.
And in his initial statement, Babcock said it was voluntarily, but it's now widely reported that it was not voluntarily. And this is from Elliot Friedman, big source.
Yeah,
Elliot
Elliot
best in
Friedman's
the game, especially in the Canadian market too.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's now widely reported that it was not, and players took turns getting their phones examined by him. And this has a couple of things thinking, right? I really hope someone reaches out to the Saskatchewan team. I really do, because what did he do? That's college,
Yeah.
so they're young guys there.
Yeah.
And I want to see what maybe those players or parents or whoever there are say.
If they have the same issues, yeah.
Number 2, this is like when I was going on that KPJ rant type thing.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that after this conversation as well, where I'm like, nowadays social media is as good at it, as bad as it could be. It could also be good, and this is the good.
Yeah.
Because you have people you could share stuff to online, and like coaches doing, whether it be racial slurs, whether it be sexual assaults, whether it be this now.
Yeah.
There's an outlet now for players to come out and, frankly, these coaches are stupid.
Express their opinion.
Yeah. Frankly, coaches are stupid. Now, even if you, first of all, don't do it. But if you even try to do something stupid,
You will get caught.
you will get caught. Within
It may not be in like 1 or 2 days. It could be in a year, right?
now, but even
like,
now it'll be quick.
Yeah, no, that would be now quick. My point was like the things that you did in the past.
Exactly, it's
could
coming
be
up
coming
now.
out
Like
now.
Canada
Yeah.
hockey, right?
Kind of hockey.
You had the Akeem Aliu situation.
situation,
I
yeah.
don't know how that coach got a job at Lethbridge.
Yeah.
Now Babcock with the Marner stuff, and like even
Kyle
other
Beach.
coaches. Who was the coach? And I think there was Kyle Beach as well. But there's another coach I remember. I know Akeem Aliu was Calgary, but there's something similar that he was caught. He was quote unquote hitting players as well, like abusing players that way. I think it may have been Akeem Aliu.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't know if
I might be mixing up stories, but yeah, no, this is whatever you do. And Babcock, he came out and said, like, I listened to, I think it was his daughter or granddaughter or someone, that like I need to, like, he knows he's going to a young team, and like I need to better my ways. I learned from my mistakes, blah blah blah. Obviously he didn't. I don't know how he thought this was gonna get away with it. Ended up being some weirdo behavior. Whether was it illegal or not? Okay, now clearly it might be illegal. Allegedly, everything allegedly. Clearly it will be illegal if it's not like he was forcing.
He was forcing, yeah.
But before we didn't know the full situation. Now we do, and yeah, good on the league. Good on Biz Nasty and standing up for his word, because yeah, if this was our podcast, then it was a different story. Like, who are these two idiots reporting this, right?
Yeah.
Babcock's career is over, as a coach.
Yeah, I guess
Like,
so. As an NHL coach, he's
As
done.
an NHL coach, he's done. And even if any coach wants to, hearing the reports, I mean, it only takes one team.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
Anywhere in the world.
Someone will do it.
But I don't think anyone in the NHL will do it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's for sure.
But yeah, so that's Babcock. We'll transition that into...
KPJ. So in the middle of my, I wouldn't say a rant, kind of emotional take there, with the whole situation with Kevin Porter Jr. I forgot to mention that there's a basketball impact. I mentioned it, but I forgot to elaborate to it because we were obviously running out of time.
Obviously, Houston put him on
Trade watch.
trade watch. Yeah, the
But
trade block.
My first question is, who's literally gonna trade? Like, they're willing to give us sweetener.
It's gonna ultimately be cut.
Everybody thinks it's Charlotte because of Miles Bridges and that team in general.
It's ultimately gonna be cut, right?
Yeah,
But I think Houston was willing to throw picks to get rid of him as well.
that's what I'm saying. Sweeteners.
Yeah, so that's that basically, right? That was like quick.
It was quick. I mean, with that whole situation with Kaiser,
Yeah,
there were, like, again, allegedly people were saying that she was saying that he didn't do anything wrong. Again, everything is allegedly here, so we're not gonna get too much into the situation. You heard my thoughts, especially, similar to Babcock situation. Social media is at its best when it comes to this stuff, and check out the last pod if you want to hear my thoughts. I kind of went all over the place with that, but yeah. So yeah, Kevin Porter Jr. probably not getting traded, probably gonna get cut, probably gonna play somewhere in Europe. And I'm hoping he doesn't get he's not talented enough, quote unquote, to get another chance. Because when you see these type of players, for example, Myers Leonard did one thing where he said, I forgot which slur he said. I'm not gonna say the slur, but I'm saying
it's a racial slur.
It's like a slur that he said while he was streaming. This was after the COVID bubble.
Yeah,
he was literally canceled.
He was canceled. Yeah, he was done.
And he finally came back to the Bucks roster, I think this year.
Okay. Yeah.
Or was it last year? One or the other. He was on the Bucks roster, but didn't play much. But it took that long for a guy like that. Yes, it's different stories for guys like Tyreek Hill and Ray Lewis at the time, Adrian Peterson, so on and so forth, Mason Greenwood now, blah, blah, blah. So, I think that's it with that. We'll move on. There's updates on James Harden and Damian Lillard. The first update is James Harden is off. Clippers are no longer interested in trading for him. I think this is per Brian Windhorst. And makes sense. Like, Daryl Morey's trying to finesse something that is going to be tough. It's not the same.
It's going to be tough
Harden.
trading him. Yeah.
Like, this isn't the Ben Simmons situation.
James Harden is still better than Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but it's not that situation anymore. You can't get that done. So yeah, he's still a Philly Sixer. I was going to say Philadelphia 76er. And let's see if he gets traded. Do you think he gets traded? And does he report properly? And do you think he does what he did in Houston, essentially?
I don't know. Probably he's going to do what he's doing in Houston. I don't think he's going to get traded anytime soon. I think it's going to take, a few weeks into the season, quite possibly up until the deadline, which it took for the Nets. But Houston found a trade to the Brooklyn right like a couple weeks into the season.
Clippers will come into the picture if they're struggling for whatever reason. That's it. That's the only way I can see the Clippers coming back.
But but right now I think he's gonna start the season as a Sixer.
Yeah.
But the Damian Lillard.
So there's been a report, I don't know by who exactly, but that there is progress made, and this is big because at the Colorado game, first of all, a lot of celebrities there.
Yeah.
Right. You got Kawhi Leonard showing up to that game.
Yeah.
But Chauncey Billups was seen chilling with Kyle Lowry there. And now the reason why I'm saying this is Chauncey Billups is a Portland Trailblazer coach.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry's a Miami Heat player.
And obviously with that train to match contracts, Kyle Lowry has to be involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Or most likely he's going to be involved.
I think the reason why that trade is holding up is Heat don't want to give up Caleb Martin. I see it, but at the same time, it's Damian Lillard.
I mean, yeah.
And now, like Tyler Hero's going to be part of that because he's I think he got a max contract as well. And Nikola Jovic.
It could probably be a part
killed it. No, because he killed it in FIBA now. That he might be in play / they want Jaime Jaquez Jr. from UCLA, their draft pick.
Yeah, their draft
pick.
So
that's where it is. I think this trade could get done before the season.
Yeah,
with how it's going.
But who will that leave the Heat with? So it will leave with Dame, Butler, and Adebayo?
That's their big three. If
As
Caleb Martin is not on that
they
trade,
already lost Gabe Wilson and Max Strus.
yeah.
So they're like, if they're the same team as last year, they're a worse team than last year. On paper, losing Vincent and Struss.
Yeah, but
Two-
didn't you argue that this still makes them a better team because they got Dame? I remember we were
No,
talking
yeah,
about this.
I'm saying without the Dame trade.
No, with Dame. Like,
What do you mean?
I remember when this was like, I think right after free agency.
What are you talking about?
So, after free agency,
Yeah,
we were talking about the trade
yeah,
and rumors and stuff. I think this was before maybe draft time,
yeah,
and we were saying this Damian Lillard trade situation.
yeah.
You were coming at me. I'm like, I was reacting how you were.
What?
If I'm not mistaken. We'll check the receipts.
Bro, what is
after.
going on? Like,
No. I'm calling you out in the sense that you're saying that this team is worse with Dame if they do the Dame trade.
I don't think I said that,
We'll check the receipts,
bro.
for sure.
I don't know who the hell said that, but I'm pretty sure I did
All
not
right,
say
we'll
that.
look it up after we're done recording, and we'll
Unless,
address
like,
it
you
next
just-
time. But
But no, I didn't say that. That's what we were arguing about something else.
it was regarding Dame for sure. But we'll see. We
Bro,
won't know.
I don't think so.
But no, either way, yeah, you have that big
Bro, don't
three.
Trying to throw me on a bus here.
I kind of have to. If
Nah.
that's what I remember.
I didn't
I'll
say it.
acknowledge it next episode if I mess up and this and that.
No, we're saying you gotta find out.
But you want to do it right now?
No, not right now. It'll take
Oh,
forever.
okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you'll find out.
Okay, but anyways, back to that. Dame,
Dame makes the team better, but if they don't trade Dame, they're a worse team than last year. That's what I probably said. I don't know if you misheard me, but that's what I'm saying right now.
you're saying without Dame, they're a worse team than last year.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
that's what I said.
Okay, no, I thought you right now you said that if the Dame trade happens, right now I thought you said they're still a worse team because they lost.
Right now, is that what you think I just
If
said?
Damian Lillard gets traded right now,
So what do you think I said right now?
I thought you said they're a worse team with Damian Lillard.
Right now?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, you're bugging. You're like.
Oh, you didn't say that, right?
No, I
okay,
said.
so
what
that's
if-
why. Okay, my bad. I'll take it back.
I said
thought
they're a worse team. If they don't get if I said if their team stays the same,
Yeah.
they're a worse team than last year.
Okay. So that's my bad. I thought I heard you said if they make the Dame trade, they already lost.
Nah.
They're losing more depth, because of
I'm
the
not
trade.
having it.
Because they're having the trade.
I'm not having it from you.
Okay, well, how long do you want to go at me for now?
All right, let's go in the next day.
I already gave up.
Yeah,
But yeah, Damian Lillard trade. Let's see.
could happen.
By the way, NHL training camps start this week, which means NBA training camps should be starting soon because they're roughly around the same time.
Yeah,
Which means we're gonna get preseason hockey and preseason basketball coming our way.
yeah. All right, let's move on to Shevchenko Grosso.
Yeah. Sick fight.
Sick fight.
Sick fight.
Fight night. It wasn't a pay per view
Yeah.
for some reason.
So
but
you have no excuse, UFC fans, about paying money because if you have TSN or ESPN, if you're in America, you should be able to watch this fight.
yeah, sick fight. But ended up in a draw,
I see a draw, but not the way it happened.
a split draw.
I could see a draw.
I
But
think it was
I don't see a
Shevchenko.
draw because they said 10-8 Grosso, one judge.
Yeah, in the
on the
fifth
fifth round.
Yeah, that's
If
not a 10 race.
anything, I thought round 2 could have been 10-10 or 9-9, right? Because Grosso took down Shevchenko, then Shevchenko fought back
Yeah.
and did that, right? And if anything, round 3 could have been 10-8 Shevchenko, if that was the case.
But yeah, if they're
I thought
if
Shevchenko edged it.
I thought
for
Shevchenko
sure. If I had to
edged
pick
it,
one or
right?
the
But like,
other.
if that judge gave 10-8 to that fifth round, they should have given a 10-8
in round 3.
in round 3 to Shevchenko as well.
Yeah.
Because Shevchenko dominated round 3.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think they should do a trilogy fight. It was a sick fight.
Yeah.
But I think Shevchenko did get robbed.
And she believed that wholeheartedly, saying that judges
Especially the way I saw the way it happened. Sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I did say, okay, no, sorry, I won't say he got robbed. I thought Shevchenko edged it. I wouldn't say a highway robbery.
Yeah, but Shevchenko believes she got robbed.
I see a world that a draw could have happened.
Yeah, but Shevchenko believes she got robbed, especially when she's saying Mexican Independence Day influenced the judges.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And yeah, so that was
It was a
UFC.
judge Mexican?
No, like for
No. I'm just saying,
Grosso's Mexican.
No.
I don't know if the judge is Mexican.
That's what I mean. I was asked my joke. Was the judge Mexican?
Who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, sick fight. Let's see what happens. Next UFC event we probably care about too much will be that Makhachev Oliveira fight, which is
Yeah,
a long time away in our eyes.
yeah. Probably a good few weeks.
All right, let's get into soccer, or do you want to go into MLB?
Let's go soccer. Recaps. United are still shit, and we might be trouble in Germany and against Bayern Munich because we completely suck.
All right, so do you need Man United? Let's just do a quick 5-minute rant because I do have a rant.
Okay, we'll try to keep it less than 5 minutes. Let's try to keep
All
it
right,
quick.
it's probably gonna
Let's
end
try
up
to
being
keep it quick.
It's probably gonna be 5
Let's try to
minutes,
keep
but-
this quick.
No, my personal thoughts.
Because you've been ranting about the same thing over and over again now. To be honest,
True.
every time we talk about Man United, we say the same shit over and over again.
Okay, my personal thoughts are slightly different. The first 20 minutes, I could see that being throughout. Like I like the 4-4-2 diamond situation.
It was
I
working.
did not like the selection. Right, I know you're gonna say Ten Hag.
Why is McTominay playing 90 minutes? That's on Ten Hag.
I blame the players more because the fight isn't there. The minute the goal happened, they kind of went downhill. Obviously, we got unlucky with the goal disallowed. It was rightly. Well, people might not think. I think
It was close.
it was close,
It was
but
very close.
whatever. It was disallowed. Rashford kind of got greedy. Should have passed it across to Højlund. Højlund, bright spot. But for me, the biggest miss is Varane. That kept that defense afloat. Martinez and
Lindelof were as good as Maguire and Evans that day. I'll say that much right now. Dumb defensively. It did not matter if Maguire and Evans was in that game. It was the same result.
Well, if Maguire and Evans in that game, we would have lost by worse. I know that for a fact. For a
Yeah, I know,
fact,
but
we're
like-
losing like 7-0.
But we were losing, right? Because that's how bad they played. Martinez and
I thought they were okay.
no, they were bad.
I thought they
they're
were
defending
okay.
on the goals.
People
were
blaming
bad.
Onana. The stat. I had to get this out of the way, and I know you agree with this. Oh, he let like 7 shots out of 10 in or whatever.
I mean,
Just
realistically,
look at the chances,
look-
except for maybe one.
Look at what Martinez and Lindelof did in front of you. Like you're allowing shots right at the 18, inside the 18, go in. I forgot. Welbeck was a breakaway, like a mini breakaway goal.
Yeah, I mean that's on like the midfield not tracking back.
Yeah. So
More so than Martinez and Lindelof.
yeah,
But
I mean,
last thing I want to do say is those people that are coming out and saying Ten Hag, sack, or whatever. My only thing I'm gonna say in this last part of the rant is, Alan Shearer said it best. There's mega distractions from the top, and I get it. He needs to be better with his roster selection and timing of subs. But
yeah,
let's just say we sack him because we finished 5th again, like the trend is whenever
that's
we
stupid.
finish.
That's
That's stupid because like, okay, who's next? Julian Nagelsmann's available. Let's go get him. Same thing's gonna happen. For me, figure out what the hell's happening with the selling situation. Give him a little bit of proper backing and time, because you look at Klopp, he did not come into Liverpool and change them instantly. He had 2-3 years. Pep is a different story because that team was loaded, and even then it took him a year.
Himself.
And Arsenal with Arteta.
Arteta took time, bro.
There
Arteta
you go.
Took time.
So Ten Hag I still think is the right guy, just because like a lot of these haters are probably like the Ronaldo thing. That's the only thing I agree with a lot of people with how Man United treated Ronaldo. I agree with they treated him poorly and making him the scapegoat. He did perform poorly though. We gotta admit
on field,
that,
yeah,
Ronaldo.
they did. But like,
The only thing Ronaldo I disagreed with what he said was the coaching bullshit that he said. That's it, right? But yeah, but that whole Ten Hag thing, I still think he's the guy. Give him proper backing because clearly he has no depth. There's no reason why we should not have Kim Min-jae on this roster if he wanted it.
that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like we're not getting front office and all that stuff because
Yeah.
we know that's all atrocious, and all the Anthony Greenwood stuff situation.
Well,
we have to deal
I'm
with.
not even gonna mention that.
And
Like,
then yeah, I mean, I do believe Ten Hag needs to be better. Don't get me wrong. I've been saying that during the games, but at the same time, he has put it in the most shittiest situation possible
Yeah.
to do something.
and the
and
players
then-
are not helping him with the effort.
And then on top of that, players are not performing on the pitch as well.
Okay, other game that caught your eye?
Tottenham, what the hell did they just do? Right, like 2 goals in the like what? First of all, they're 12 added minutes, so that's kind of
That shit's still confusing.
kind
me
of
how
I don't
it
know how
works.
that's possible.
The more and more I see stuff like this and the yellow cards, coming
Sheffield
up,
got robbed potentially.
you're putting risk with the yellow card situation about the timing,
Yeah.
and we've ranted about this before. For because you're putting teams' depth in question, which is fine, a fair argument, but early yellow cards,
Yeah.
like you got rid of Tomiyasu early, you got rid of some other players early.
Yeah. So like back
McAllister,
to Tottenham,
but yeah.
Tottenham. What a comeback! What a way to fight. Richarlison made an impact. Kulusevski been good for them, and Tottenham look like they're kind of going back on track.
Yeah. That City West Ham game, I guess West Ham. It's just classic City.
City just finds
Like,
a way.
They just like to oh, you know what? Let's make it fun for us. Here's a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, they'll find a way, and they always do.
Yeah, and then the other thing, Chelsea's still Chelsea. Arsenal has little struggles, barely beating Everton, but they'll be fine. But yeah, leading
Arsenal like the Eagles.
Yeah.
They haven't been as good as last year, but they're still finding a way to win.
Yeah, but we forgot to mention this before. 16-year-old playing for Barcelona.
What was his name? And like,
He also made his debut for Spain.
yeah,
I think he
and
scored.
It was like Lamal, like something.
Let me find
I
his name.
forgot how he pronounced say his name again.
And Frankie De Jong's been killing it, by the way.
Yeah,
And their center mid apparently has been like consistent 7 rating. Oriol Romeo.
for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oriol Romeo, former Southampton man.
Is it him?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, Yamal.
Yamal, right?
Yeah, Yamal.
Yeah,
Guess what? João Felix also on that roster.
yeah. I mean
Playing
Barca
So they're
and
Barca.
Madrid. Barca and Madrid.
Yeah,
They've both been good.
Madrid. I think they lost.
Did they
No,
lose?
they barely won. 2-1.
barely won,
They were
right?
losing 1-0.
I think Barca tied a game as well.
No, they won 5-0.
No, like tied a game. Like,
Oh, tied a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
but,
But
yeah.
speaking of now transition to Champions League, you mentioned Man United, Bayern Munich there. Obviously, we'll see what happens. Good news is Ten Hag confirmed maybe some healthy players coming back. I think might be for Burnley, not this game. So we're in trouble.
we're fucked against Bayern.
I still think Amrabat needs to be here, but
yeah, true. Amrabat, Casemiro's looking slow.
Varane should be coming back. But yeah, Champions League. First off, I think on paper,
Group of death again, like Newcastle, PSG, AC Milan, and Dortmund. Was it?
yes,
Yeah, it's
Dortmund,
like,
Newcastle, AC Milan,
and PSG.
PSG. Yeah.
So yeah.
Obviously, the first matchup to look forward is that one: PSG versus Dortmund, and AC Milan Newcastle off the bat. Like that's on Tuesday. Tuesday 9:45 a.m. is the AC Milan game though.
Okay.
But yeah. Obviously, those are the 2 games to look forward to, right off the bat. Outside of the group of death, because it's obvious every game's gonna be worth to watch. I think on paper, it has to be Man United Bayern Munich. But then when you watch the game,
When you watch
it's
Man
not
United,
really.
it's not Man United.
It's not really. So, yeah, like on paper, like if you're a casual fan, you hear the name Manchester United versus Bayern Munich, you're interested. But if you're a diehard soccer fan and a diehard United fan, you know that's not going to be that.
You know
good
it's
as
not going to
anything.
be easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bayern should easily make it.
Okay. Yeah, Bayern should easily make it.
Should we
But
just quickly do our 2 predictions right now? Then like group through the groups. Just pick our
we
2
already
teams.
did we not do it?
No, we never did.
Okay, the Bayern Group A: Bayern Munich, Manchester United, FC Copenhagen, Galatasaray.
Bayern, Man U.
Or are you still sticking with Man U?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with them.
If I'm being an honest Man United fan, I won't be surprised if Galatasaray get to me.
Yeah, but what is your pick? Is it
Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV, Lens.
Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV, Lens?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is gonna be a classic Sevilla.
I feel like
come
classic
third.
Sevilla might be just third, and I just feel like it might be Arsenal, PSV.
Is that your final prediction?
Yeah.
I'm still taking Arsenal, Sevilla.
All right.
Napoli, Real Madrid, Sporting Braga, Union Berlin.
Napoli and Madrid.
Benfica, Inter Milan, Red Bull Salzburg, Real Sociedad.
So it's Benfica, Inter Milan, Red Bull Salzburg, and who?
Sociedad.
Sociedad. Oh.
I'm sticking with Benfica and Inter Milan still.
Yeah, I'll go with Benfica, Inter Milan as well.
This one's gonna be a tough second choice. Maybe even depending on how Atletico does. But Atletico, Feyenoord, Lazio, Celtic.
Atletico, Feyenoord, Lazio, and Celtic.
I think Lazio top it, and then Atletico might get second. I'm just going with our prediction. I don't know how some of these teams play.
Yeah, I think it's Lazio and Atletico.
All right, PSG, Dortmund. Let's finish that for last. Man City,
Man
just say
City,
it.
Man City,
Leipzig, Young Boys, and Crvena Zvezda.
Leipzig, Man City and Leipzig,
Barca, Porto, Shakhtar, Antwerp.
Barca, Porto.
Okay, so group of death.
I don't know. I don't think Newcastle makes
AC
it.
Milan got their ass kicked on the weekend
They did.
by Inter Milan.
I think Dortmund makes it. I think Dortmund's my lock.
I think Dortmund and PSG will make it.
Do you think PSG will still make it?
Yeah. Even though they lost on the weekend.
Did
So
they
I don't
not? They
know.
lost?
I think they lost on the weekend. 3-2. And PSG. Yeah. You know what?
I think Dortmund's my lock.
Dortmund, AC Milan. I'm going with it. I think this is the year that Mbappe will finally leave after not making it out of the group.
Yeah. I'm going with Dortmund, Newcastle. I don't know why. I don't
You
know.
feel like an upset there?
I just feel like it's an upset.
Yeah, I'm going Dortmund, AC Milan.
I know I just said Newcastle might not make it, but you know what? I feel like there's gonna be those teams where like they struggle in the league but do good in the tournaments.
Yeah.
So I feel like Newcastle.
Like West Ham last year?
Yeah, like West Ham.
Even though this is like the top of the top tournament?
Yeah, I think it could be Dortmund and Newcastle.
Okay, I'm going Dortmund, AC Milan.
Yeah,
Still.
I'm just going with upset.
Okay, so the favorite on the Bucks, we already know it's City. Are you sticking with them to winning it all? Or do you have a winner? Because I have a winner. It's between two teams, but I think I have my
I mean,
winner.
City, Byron, and I think Real Madrid's back in there again.
I'm going with Barcelona. I know they've been struggling the last 2-3 years, but you added,
You have good depth.
you added a Gundogan, you added João Felix, João Cancelo. Another year with that core. Frankie De Jong's playing like a nominee for Ballon d'Or next year probably. Yamal, baby.
Yamal, right? Like,
And then you still have Pedri and Gavi. And
Lewandowski.
The depth is there.
Oriol
Lewandowski.
Romeo, apparently you said it was killing it.
No, because it was like the Twitter page Out of Context Football. You might have seen it on Instagram.
Yeah.
It was like 7.5, 7.3, 7.4.
That's pretty
Still
solid.
a pretty
Those are
average
good-
rating,
those are
but
good games.
still good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steady guy.
Yeah, I mean, they look like a team that's breaking financial rules because they declare that they're broke.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Listen,
that squad is nice.
They're no Man United now.
That squad is nice.
Yeah. So
The squad is nice.
I think I'm gonna go with Barcelona. Now that being said, I thought Barcelona would have done something last year, and they lost to Man United last year in the Europa League.
Yeah,
But,
Barca could be up there. Yeah, that's for sure.
So yeah, I think I was gonna go with Bayern Munich, but then I don't know if I trust Tuchel for the long run. This is not just group stage, so I'm gonna go with this might be Barcelona's year.
Yeah,
The depth is better than last year.
that is for sure. That
And
is
then
true.
you gotta like Joao Felix wants to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our predictions. You're going if you were to pick one.
Pick one. City.
You're gonna rock them being back to back.
I think they're back to back.
I don't know if they'll go back to back personally.
I don't know,
That's
man.
just
They're,
me.
they're,
De
they're
Bruyne is
looking
injured.
good.
De Bruyne is injured.
That's true. They do choke in Europe, but they didn't choke last year. I think they just needed one to get many, and I feel like their many's gonna start coming soon.
I'm sticking with Barcelona. Okay, comment your guys' predictions below.
Because Julian Alvarez is freaking playing cam for them
And then Phil
and
Foden's
killing
going crazy.
and Phil Foden is back, and then I think Jack Grealish still might be
Well, they still
hungover.
added players, right? Guardiola, Doku.
Yeah, Guardiola and Doku
You know,
starting for them as
Mateus
well.
Nunes, by the way, people clowning on last Ten Hag thing.
Yeah.
Mateus, like Pep Guardiola said, Mateus Nunes needs to work on his first touch, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Not a word. And all of a sudden, Ten Hag's a bully for the Sancho situation. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, no, but like I'm just saying, like I think
This Champions League might be fun. This year.
I think
There's
City. I
options.
think City could be fine without De Bruyne because
Okay.
Julian Alvarez is killing it. Jeremy Doku is starting for them. Phil Foden is there and back to himself, and Jack Grealish go back to his bad
Yeah,
ways.
because at the end of the day, they lost Gundogan to Barcelona. They re-signed Kyle Walker.
They re-signed Kyle
Bernardo
Walker.
Silva.
Their defense is fine. Their goalie is fine. Obviously, midfield have
They
some
lost
questions.
Riyad Mahrez, but again, Doku
Doku
and potentially
and
Mateus Nunes, hopefully.
like we
Not
said,
not hopefully for us, but like
yeah,
for
and then
them.
you still have Rodri. Kovac is an adequate replacement. Bernardo Silva is still there.
Yeah.
Right. So they'll be fine.
So you're
And
sticking with City?
I'm going with City. I think there's
As much as I heard you hurt to say it, I just don't
I
want
heard
to.
it.
The main reason why I don't want to say them is also I don't want to. As a United fan, I just don't want to say them winning it
yeah,
again.
that's true.
That's why I went with Barcelona.
Like I'll root against them in the final. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay, last thing. We don't need to go over Europa League, do we?
no,
No. Okay. Only team that we will need to worry about is
no,
Liverpool.
no,
But yeah.
no Europa League. They don't deserve
Yeah.
any
Sorry, Jivan and your family.
love. No, they don't deserve any love.
Okay. MLB. We have to go weekly now. We have to. And listen, if this was recorded properly, we talk about MLB properly. That shirt Jobin is wearing, he probably wouldn't have been wearing it right now. Because who's more frustrating, Manchester United or Toronto Blue Jays?
I mean, Manchester United behind the scenes are more frustrating. Blue Jays
But then
on the
it's showing it on the field too.
Blue Jays on the field are more frustrating
Because they have
because
you
they-
expected
they're supposed to be good.
you expect them to do what the one thing they're supposed to be good at, whereas Man United behind the scenes is resulting on field play too.
Like whatever Blue Jays doing on the field is strictly on them. Where Man
Mm-hmm.
United has that off-field excuses.
Yeah. No, I agree because you get swept by the Texas Rangers,
Their biggest series of the year.
out of a playoff spot, and then somehow at the end of the day they struggled in the division. So still, I understand they swept Red Sox last time. You didn't expect the same thing to happen again,
Yeah, and swept the Red Sox this time.
and it wasn't easy. Like they
But
made
the
it
Guardians swept the Rangers.
So
And now-
all they had to do, the Blue Jays. Let's get the Blue Jays out of the way here. All they had to do was take out of the
split
Texas series. Just split the
And
series.
you would have been in a golden spot right now.
And it also helps that the Dodgers win their NL West title by sweeping
The Mariners.
the Mariners, and then Houston lose 2 out of 3 to Kansas City.
Bro, you could have been in a golden position if you just took 2.
Now, the good news is, as a Blue Jays fan, and I know there's many Vancouverites that don't like the Toronto.
Yeah.
We're a fan of the Blue Jays. We're a
And-
fan of the second part, not the first part.
Yeah, not Toronto.
but
like
we have
Blue
to say it because the name.
Yeah, but the Blue Jays, the good news for them, like
They control their own destiny again.
They control their own destiny. They're in the playoff spot again, like how it was before the Texas series.
Yeah.
And Seattle played Texas 7 more games, and I think Seattle plays Houston in the series as well.
So, as long as they don't screw up this, because Tampa Bay is still fighting for a division title, so it's gonna be tough.
So Tampa Bay
And the Yankees are still playing for pride, some way. They
Yankees-
have a fighting chance.
yeah, Yankees
If
are
they
next.
somehow sweep us through, which I won't be surprised, they have a chance.
Yeah, but just find a way to win series. Like I don't think you need to sweep.
Just
right?
win
But
series.
Just find a way to win all your series, and you should be good.
Listen, the frustrating part, last thing about the Blue Jays, because we had to get to the other teams, about this is now Vladdy's kind of getting going.
Yeah,
Bo's not going.
Bo's not
Springer's
going.
kind of there, but Witt's not there. Matt Chapman had a big hit. Let's see
But
if that continues.
That's only one hit.
Varsho had it yesterday, and Varsho's
Varsho.
kind of been like not at the beginning of the year. He's kind of been near the up and down, but near the top. But yeah,
And
so
I think David Schneider might be coming back down to earth, but realistically, you're supposed to be this good. For
but
us.
now because you have that expectation.
No,
that's the thing.
The team, this
He's
team,
batting cleanup too, so it
yeah,
doesn't
no,
help
this
with
team,
that.
this team does fall on Vladdy and Bo at the end of the day, and if they don't make
And
the
our
playoffs,
pitching. Our pitching came back to earth this series.
if they don't make the playoffs, it ultimately comes down to
Oh yeah, no,
Vladdy
for sure.
and Bo.
Pitching came back this series again.
Yeah, they did well this series.
and
struggled
bullpen
against
and
Texas.
everyone. Yeah, so that's the Blue Jay side of things. They're one of the spots.
And that's the AL race as well. We mentioned all the teams:
Yeah.
Houston, Texas, and Seattle.
The other thing
with
we
the
want to
Blue Jays.
say is, I lightly mentioned it, but did Boston win the series? Or Baltimore win the series, or Tampa win the series?
Oh yeah, that was a big one, right?
Because that one's for the division, and that matters because especially with Tampa, they faced the Jays 6 more times, I believe, or whatever, 6 or 7 more times.
Orioles won today,
Yeah,
but the series was
was it split 2-2?
it was a 2-2 split.
Okay, so that means the Orioles still have a 2-game lead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think it might be game and a half or something like that.
Okay, yeah, because then the Jays have a tiebreaker on Houston, but not the other 2 teams as well.
Let's quickly. Yeah, no, never mind. It's 2 games.
Okay.
So like Orioles have a game in hand, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. All right. And NL, LA Dodgers, as we mentioned.
Still not.
LA Dodgers, as we mentioned. NL West division winners.
Braves clinched.
Braves
as well.
already clinched it. Braves, by the way, have I think 4 people with 35 plus home runs.
Yeah, I think Marcell Ozuna just hit
Just
his
got it today.
35th one. And
You got
Matt Olson's at 52. I think broke the franchise record.
yeah.
And
Is Acuna at 35 now? I know he just got 30 a couple of weeks ago.
I do not know who is it. Home runs. Let's quickly check. You got Ronald Acuna, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, and then Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah, I mean early.
Then Ozzy Albies is at 29. So yeah, no, early favorites are the Braves.
How much are they ahead right now?
Milwaukee.
Those are 5. Yeah, they should win the.
They should win it all.
Yeah. No, I mean like they should win the conference clearly.
Milwaukee should be a lock at number 3 seed now. They pulled away from the Cubs a little bit. And the Cubs have fallen.
5-game losing streak.
Cubs have fallen.
5-game losing.
Where to the point where Philly should be a lock at number 1 wildcard spot now. They're 3.5 games above.
Yeah.
And they just
That's your world. They weren't your winners.
They were my World Series. They were my NL champs.
Were your L champs?
I don't know. I didn't really. It was the Rangers,
Oh yeah.
but they fell off massively. And now Scherzer's done for the year as well. But yeah, where Cubs I thought was looking like a week ago, looking like a lock.
They're tied
Now
with Miami.
are tied with Miami.
Half a game behind or ahead of Cincy, and then 2 games ahead of Giants. Or kind of
Giants are kind of falling off. But yeah, there's 2 wildcard spots that are held by Diamondbacks and Cubs. And there's 5 teams. I'm still throwing in the Giants
Yeah.
fighting for those 2 spots.
So very quickly, Giants have 2 games against Diamondbacks, which is big. But then they close out with 7 games against the Dodgers and then 3 games with Padres. Not 7 in a row. So like 4.
But that
3.
might be a blessing because Dodgers might have nothing to play
Yeah.
for.
I
And
mean, they're only going to be fighting for the division lead for home field.
and they're like 5 games off of that.
Yeah, so that will be tough. But either way, that's still tough at the end of the day because they're rivals no
Yeah,
matter what.
that's
so
true.
there's that. The Cincinnati Reds have the Twins, which could be big for the Cleveland side of things, even though that's 7 games different.
Yeah, I think that's done.
Pirates, Guardians, and Cardinals. So it's weird. Like they have 3 games Twins, 3 games Pirates, 2 games Guardians, 3 games Cardinals.
It's not a terrible
Easy schedule, honestly.
Easy. It's not that hard. Yeah.
So they could make a fight. Miami, who won yesterday or today, destroyed the Braves. Check that score out, by the way. I don't know if it was I think it was yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah. Oh, no, I have it here. Sorry.
16-2.
Yeah, that one.
I guess Braves don't care now.
Yeah, because they swept the Braves, by the way.
Wow.
They swept the Braves.
Okay. Wow.
9. That's big. You didn't think that, but they play the Mets, they play the Brewers, they play the Mets, Pirates.
Easy.
Okay. Chicago, Pirates, Rockies, Braves, Brewers. They all have relatively easy-ish.
Like Braves don't have nothing to play for, right? Dodgers don't have anything to play for, so like they're not as hard as people might think they are.
Brewers still could be tough because it could
Brewers,
whatever reason could go down to the division.
Yeah,
title.
but Brewers eventually could have nothing to play for.
And the last team is the Diamondbacks, and for them it's the Giants. I mentioned too, Yankees, White Sox, Astros. So this is a team that was saying the Astros are playing someone. And
The Diamondbacks,
and
yeah.
then that Diamondbacks Astros series could be big for both sides.
For both sides, it'll be big.
So that's insane.
Yeah, no, this NL is
So
nuts.
they're literally ending off with 3 divisional, interconference, whatever it's called, races, games. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Where the last one could be like Astros could be fighting for something, and then they could be fighting for something.
yeah, Texas and Mariners end off the year
Against each other.
against each other.
So either way, the Astros don't have an easy end off either.
So this is good news for Blue Jays because they're beating up on each other,
Yeah,
type of thing.
and this one is the Astros are playing a tough team.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, that's the race. We'll cover this next Sunday when a couple of these series gets done. Like 2 of them will be done by then. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, 2 of them we done.
For some, even 3 because they have 2 games in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. An hour and a half in, I believe.
Yeah.
And a lot to talk about. NFL season is going to be primarily talked about every time. Maybe a little college football flavor in there. We're trying to find some guests to come on to help us out here.
Yeah.
Get going.
That's true.
But we touched on I think every sport.
Yeah, we did.
Soccer, hockey, baseball, basketball, football, and some combat. Which reminds me, Canelo fights later this month, so I have to figure out when that is.
Canelo fights later. Yeah, but
yeah, that's pretty much it. Comment your thoughts down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Help us reach 200 subs by the end of this month. And other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.